Hey everyone, welcome back. So looking at the stocks for miners this week, I noticed that Mawson has been going up like crazy compared to the other miners. So we did a video on the miners versus Bitcoin just a little while ago. It should be up live now, but I wanted to take a look at it. So let's take a look at the chart here of Mawson. So as you can see, Mawson has been up for the past, 6 days or so. It started back on December 10th, and then we had the weekend, obviously. So December 13th, it pumped really hard. December 14th, 15th, 16th, and then obviously yesterday it came down and pumped really hard. So I wanted to figure out why it was pumping so hard. Take a look at some of the news stories out there and things like that to see if there's a reason for it. When everything else, if you look at like Riot has been down, Mara has been down, every day almost, it seems like. You got also Hut that's been down as well. Hive, so they're all down except for obviously Mawson here, which is a little strange. Obviously, we had a huge volume here yesterday on Mawson stock, so that's kind of weird. So I want to take a look at it. So here's what I was able to come up with. If we look at Mawson, they tweeted on the 9th after, I guess they were responding to Elon Musk's tweet. Elon Musk tweeted on December 8th, unless susceptible to extreme natural disasters, nuclear power plants should not be shut down. I don't know what the conversation was based on that. But Mawson replied, agree. Leveraging non-carbon emitting power sources for technology-driven advancements like Bitcoin mining is definitely the way of the future. MIGI recently purchased 100% carbon-free energy from Energy Harbor for the term 2022 to 2026. Check us out, Elon Musk, right? So I don't know if Elon Musk is buying them, or other people saw this tweet and they are buying them on that. But if we look at it here on the chart, this was on the 9th. So this was here that they basically posted it. And ever since then, it's been going up. The only other thing I was able to find on them is a story in USA Today. So if we look at it here, so this is a story from Mawson Infrastructure Group. And what does this little thing here mean? This is a story that is paid by the advertiser. Members of the editorial and news staff of USA Network Today were not involved in the creation of this content, so it looks like Mawson paid for this article to be published on USA Today. Interesting to know how much they paid for it. So here's the article basically that they paid for on USA Today. So how this Bitcoin miner is changing the game. Mawson's off-grid energy sources for Bitcoin mining could help save the planet. And this is by Melissa Carnes from Mawson Infrastructure Group, Inc. So this was published on December 14th. So if we look at the chart here, on December 14th, that would have been right here. So it pumped pretty good on Monday, and then on the 14th, it continued to pump it up. I wonder if this article, or this paid article, had anything to do with it. So let's get into what they had to say. So they they start out by saying, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are having a big impact on the world in more ways than one. Not all of them positive. If you are like most people who know just enough about the blockchain technology that makes it go, you are likely worried about its impact on climate change. So they obviously point out the bad parts of it, or at least seen by the public. And then they go on to say, and with good reason, after all, Bitcoin uses more electricity annually than many countries, including Argentina and Switzerland. And that's just to name a few from an analysis by Cambridge University. But there's one company intent on changing that. So Mawson Infrastructure Group, right, is one of the most sustainable Bitcoin miners in the game, predominantly focusing on wind, nuclear, and hydro energy. Not only is the digital asset company one of the lowest cost producers of Bitcoin on the NASDAQ, but Mawson has also experienced a multi-billion-dollar success in just 3 years. Still, the company is working to build on its short-term achievements for a more sustainable future in the long haul. Here's how. So Bitcoin is here to stay, basically. How is Bitcoin being used? How is it being used for cash? Things like that, for transfers. And then they go on to say here, for Mawson, it all starts with an ambitious plan. Mawson aspires to be the industry leader in sustainable Bitcoin mining. In 2022, it achieved a major milestone, 100% net zero carbon neutral status. Its goal was to be net zero by 2030. So it has achieved this goal early and will continue to do so. And then going to say here, as Mawson expands its business globally, it will continue to improve its mix of energy sources. Mawson's operations currently use over 75% non-carbon emitting energy, including nuclear, hydro, and wind. The company's mixture of off-grid and on-grid energy sources power Mawson's large-scale infrastructure and the big business of Bitcoin mining. Mawson's off-grid approach means using energy that is not connected to traditional power sources and instead focuses on green energy, This can save money and the environment. This is so important because Bitcoin mining requires powerful computers to solve complex mathematical equations, which record transactions on the blockchain and realize Bitcoin as a reward. So this innovative company's off-grid energy assets are paired with industry-leading Luna Square's modular data center technology and high-performance computing to deliver high margins across its various operations. By establishing its facilities close to key energy sources, including renewables, Mawson delivers a scalable platform that meets both current and future sustainability targets. The Bitcoin mining division at Mawson also leverages the latest in computer technology to deliver high yields that's energy-friendly in the emerging sector for both digital asset creation and transactions. With the dedicated research and development team, Mawson is constantly seeking alternative options to reduce energy consumption and limit its environmental impact. In fact, the company is harnessing liquid immersion technology, a new type of cooling technology for data centers, to yield greater performance and increase system life. So obviously, interesting article that they paid to have published. It goes on here to say what else is going on here. You can read that at your own will. But the interesting part was the fact I didn't know that they were going into liquid immersion technology as well. But obviously, if we look at it, so this was on the 14th. We saw the stock price continue to go up after that. So here's the 14th. I don't know if it came out in the morning. Let's take a look at it. Well, what time did this come out, if it has a time on it? 6 a.m. So 6 a.m. in the morning it came out. On the 14th, you can see it here. It obviously on the 13th, it reached a high of around 768, and then it fell down to 672 in the after hours, in the morning hours. On the 14th, the article comes out and it continues to go up higher. So this is one of the things that I think might be pumping it. I think it got around to a lot of people that read this maybe, and we obviously can't see the amount of views that it got or reads, but it's the only thing I can think of that's making sense here. And then if we look at they published, when did they publish this? This was a while ago, but this is basically what their modular data centers look like. So I just wanted to provide this to you guys. You guys can take a look at this as well. Let's take a look at it here, and we'll go from there. Let me see here. Do we have sound? Hold on. Let me see here. Sound should be on. Let me take a look. I'm not getting sound. It doesn't look like it. Let's see if we can fix this. Oh yeah, we got sound. So here's some of their data centers that they have out there, the modular ones. And this is the next site that they're preparing. One thing of concern for me on this is, if you look at it, and I think they're going to show it here a little bit better, this part here is all gravel. That creates a lot of dust, especially when it's windy out, and that's going to get into the miners, which is going to obviously cause possible issues going forward. So here's their data centers, the modular ones. You can see that it's all gravel here. You got the fans running there, and those fans are sucking in all that air when it's dusty. So one thing I would have recommended for them to do was to possibly pave this or figure out a way where it's not going to create dust, basically, to help offset, to help basically the miners run better. All right, so that's basically the video of just showing their plant here. I think this is in Georgia, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but correct me if I am wrong on this. But you can obviously see where they're really close to a power distribution center. So they're getting ready for their next part of it here. So they already have one set up and another one getting ready to get set up. So based on that, I mean, this is all that I could find on them as far as recent news and things that they posted. I don't know if those are the things that are actually causing the stock to go up. To me, it looks like it, unless they have people that know what's going on and the word is getting out that miners are getting installed. So let's take a look at the numbers that I have for them, and we'll see how things can change for them. So right now, Bitcoin is at 46,730 is where I got it. If we look at my settings right now, I updated my settings for the Bitcoin network hash rate. So we reached a high of 181 million on it. We are currently at around 167 million. Our low to start out with was 140 million. So we're using that. We're using the Bitcoin price right now, and that's how we're calculating what they could be possibly mining. So if we look at them here, Mawson, I have all of these dates when miners are supposed to be installed. I already have these here for the September, October, November, December timeframe to get installed. I do not have these here yet. I have not seen any news that these have been installed here, but I'm wondering if these have been getting delivered and getting installed. So these are Q4 2021, so we are in Q4 right now. But based on this information, the latest information that we have, currently without these miners, they are possibly going to be basically generating around 15.2 million in revenue from their Bitcoin mining operations. And at the current stock price of 863, with my calculations using the pretty conservative estimates as far as 50% net from revenue and 75% net income from revenue, the stock price for me at least, it should be between 15 at the high end, 773. It is at 863. So they are overvalued right now based on my calculations, unless we get those other miners installed here, which we'll take a look at numbers here. But this is where we're at right now. So right now it is looking overvalued, at least right now. But if we give them, these are getting installed this month, in December, mining for at least a month, we're getting them now up to 18 million in revenue, which is obviously a pretty big increase compared to where they were at 15.2 million. And then this would give us basically, they should be around 832, which is pretty close to that, what the stock is right now. So it's looking like it's pretty well valued, or pretty well estimated value on it right now compared to where it was. And then at the low end at 555. So that's the only thing I can think of. I don't see, maybe unless, I doubt that these are getting installed, the ones that are in January 2022 here, and these here. But it could be. I mean, could it be that somebody knows that these miners are getting installed and letting somebody know and they're, buying up the shares? It could be that, but I just don't know. That's just my own thinking on it. I'm not saying that that's happening, but that's one reason. The only other reasons is the stories that came out, the one that they paid for to have published on USA Today. And obviously the tweet, that's the only thing that's really out there. Let me know if you guys have anything else on them. I'd be interested to know on that. But yeah, it's just really strange that they're pumping and everybody else is going down. So that's the only thing I could find out on them as far as what I could think would cause the stock to pump. That's all I got for you guys. A lot of information, obviously. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the subscribe button, like the button, and the notification bell. It helps me out tremendously. That's all I ask from you guys. Have a wonderful Saturday and a weekend. And then we got, obviously, Christmas coming up next week. We'll do some videos if there's some news out there as well. But until then, have a great one. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.